Now, if you are a follower of this channel, by now you're aware of the Polymer 80 ATF situation regarding their build by shoot kits, or BBS kits for short. They are a kit that includes an 80% lower receiver, which is not a firearm. ATF still holds that it's not a firearm, with everything else that you would need to create a functioning firearm. The ATF recently changed their mind about whether or not they consider that a firearm, and they consider those BBS kits to be an actual firearm, or ready to expel, close enough to a firearm that they're actually considered a gun. Well, Stamps.com and Authorize.net both rat out the Polymer 80 customers. The ATF seem to have that information from them. They know who bought them, and they know stats on how many people bought, where they live, and whether or not they could potentially fail or pass a background check. So if you purchased one of these kits, you might get a visit from the ATF. If you get a visit from the ATF and you don't want to go the route of not giving them your items and your property, there is a lawyer that has some information. I'm going to have links down below to some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today. But before we do, I want to say thank you to the sponsor of this channel, Route 66 Shooting Sport Park. They're down in San Bernardino, California. Excellent people, such nice people that run it. It's family owned by 3 different families. They're all so awesome. They have a great facility. They'll allow you to do things that you definitely would not be able to do at other ranges. Definitely check out their action range. It's super cool. I'm so happy to be supported by them. Route 66 Shooting Sport Park in San Bernardino, California. I will be out there again soon, sometime 2021. Let's talk about this video today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, this article from AmmoLand, again by John Crump, he's the one that's been getting all this information. So the title, Stamps.com and Authorize.net rat out Polymer 80 customers, ATF raid reason. Now, I'm going to read you just a few paragraphs, but I'm going to have this link down below. This does include the full warrant from the ATF regarding that raid that was on the 12th, I believe. So right here, the ATF obtained the information about the customers from 2 sources that the agency subpoenaed. The first source was Stamps.com, marked on page 36 of the warrant. Stamps.com turned over the shipping information of Polymer 80 customers to the ATF when the agency served them the subpoena. So that means if you bought one from them online, they have your shipping address and your name, and whatever information might come along with that. Polymer 80's credit card processing company, Authorize.net, also turned over the credit card information to the ATF. We kind of talked about this previously when it comes to what information they might have. This is something that we knew they were going to get a hold of. The ATF then ran those customers through the FBI the NICS system to see if those who made purchases were prohibited from buying firearms. Customer records obtained by the ATF were for purchases made between January 1st, 2019 and June 4th of 2020. So if you bought one of their kits from the 1st of January to the 4th of June of this year, and you're a prohibited person, yeah, it's probably gonna suck for you. The ATF found that there was a total of 9,100 purchases from California and 51,000 purchases nationwide. Of these purchases, the company sold 1,490 BBS kits nationwide. Customers in California purchased 202 of the kits. One California man purchased $22,000 worth of Polymer 80 products within 2 months. The ATF is assuming that man in question is selling the guns on the black market. Now, when it comes to the ATF actually showing up at your door, like I said, if you choose to go the route of not doing things that the Second Amendment was intended for, this lawyer, Joshua Prince, if the ATF comes a knocking, only surrender your 80% frame under protest. Now, I'm going to just briefly summarize what this article is talking about. There is forms that you can fill out and demand that you fill out and refuse to fill out depending on what you want to do. He is recommending that you fill out a certain form and deny the filling out of another form. This is advice that you're actually going to want to read if you purchase one of the BBS kits, and maybe in general. I think in general, it's probably a good idea to not talk to cops, or talk to cops as little as possible. But if they show up with a warrant and they want your stuff, follow what's in here. I'm going to have links to this down below. Check it out. So, all in all, what's going on? If you purchased a Polymer 80 and you are a prohibited person, this probably is not going to be good for you. ATF allegedly, and now I'm saying allegedly, showed up at one person's door already, but I've kind of been questioning that because it's only one. It's a photo from one person, one piece of paper. How do we know whether that person's actually telling the truth, whether it was even related at all? That happened on the same day that Polymer 80 got that warrant. I kind of find it hard to believe that the ATF showed up at someone's door the same day. The government is not good at their job. Straight up, the government is not an efficient organization. The ATF sucks. We all know it. But this is something that's most likely going to be happening in the future. I think if you purchased one of their just Polymer 80 lowers, you're probably fine. When it gets questionable is if it's one of the BBS kits that comes with everything else to make that a functioning frame or a functioning firearm. I think that's where we're going to see a lot more people visited by the ATF. You know, if you choose to forfeit it under protest, like Joshua Prince is saying, not the worst idea for you. All in all, this is a whole lot of BS. My big question is, where is the NRA in all of this? The NRA has posted several things on Twitter, on Instagram, making a big deal about giving a little kid a Nerf gun because Santa was mean to him. Right now, people's rights are being violated and they're not doing anything. They haven't said a single word. Support the Firearms Policy Coalition, support Second Amendment Foundation, support Gun Owners of America. 3 organizations that actually give a shit about the Second Amendment. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace. Again, I'm sorry, maybe in a week's time or so, I'll get over this whole, 3D printing things that are useful around the house. But 3D printer go burr. It's running. I'm making videos. I'm not going to stop doing either of those things. I'm sorry if you hear a little background noise. I will try to time these out better in the future, but breaking news is breaking news, and I will not pause a print midway through if I don't have to, and I'm not going to not give you the information when you need it. Thank you, everyone.